400 tons, and any second now, it's going to shrug off gravity like it weighs nothing. You've watched this 1,000 times, but the reason you were given for why it works. It's a great story, it's just not the real one, and the real one is way more fun. So what's actually holding it up? Here's the surprise, it's barely about the plane. It's about the air it's moving through. The wing pushes on the air, and the air pushes right back. Trouble is, you can't see air. The whole story's playing out in something invisible. So let's make it show up. And right away, it hands us a clue you'd never catch on your own. Watch behind the wing, the air leaves heading down. Hold on to that. It's about to explain everything. Here's something you can only do in a video. Rip the plane apart mid-flight. The engines, they just make it go fast. The tail, steering, the body, that's you and your suitcase. Strip all of it away, and one piece is doing the heavy lifting, literally, the wing, that's our guy. Let's make it even simpler. Slice the wing down the middle and just stare at the cross-section, the exact shape a 747 flies on. Ignore the tips for now, they've got their own drama. This little sliver is hiding the whole secret. Drop it in a steady wind, and let's paint the air by how hard it's pushing. Red, pushing hard. Blue, barely pushing. Now look at the top of the wing. It's practically all blue. The air up there is barely pushing at all. Why? Because to hug that curved top, the air has to whip around it, like you cornering a car way too fast. And what happens when you take a corner too fast? You get thrown to the outside. The air does the exact same thing. It gets flung outward, and the top of the wing is left with almost nothing pushing down on it. So, a strong push from below, almost nothing from above. The wing gets shoved straight up. That's lift. And all that air whipping over the top, it's got to go somewhere. It goes down. Exactly what we spotted in the smoke. Oh, and that old story about the top air racing to catch up. Watch the two streams. They split at the front and never see each other again. The top one gets to the back way early. File that away. There's a payoff coming. Now let's mess with it. Tilt the nose up into the wind. Pilots call that the angle of attack. Tilt more, the air bends harder, the top goes bluer, the lift jumps. And here's a genuinely clever move. Engineers wanted to grade the wing shape itself, but that's tricky, because a bigger wing lifts more just for being big, and a windier day lifts more just for being windy. So they stripped all of that out. The size, the speed, the density of the air, until what's left is one pure number that only cares about the shape. That's the lift coefficient. This curve shows it changing as we tilt, 2 degrees, 0.8, 10, 1.5, 16, almost 2. And then, it just quits climbing, because every wing has a breaking point. Even Einstein hit it. In 1917, he designed a wing with a big dramatic hump on top, dead sure that more curve meant more lift. The test pilot said it flopped through the air like a pregnant duck. Push the curve or the tilt too far, and the air just gives up gripping the surface. It lets go. The blue vanishes, the lift falls off a cliff. That's a stall. It's that peak on the curve, right where it quit climbing. And it's such a big deal that airliners run software with exactly one job. Don't let the nose get there. And that curve, that's just one shape's personality. Swap the shape and you meet a whole new character. This fat, comfy one, who flies that? A Cessna. The wing basically everyone learns on. This one's perfectly symmetric, identical top and bottom, flat. It makes zero lift until you tilt it. Which is exactly why you can fly it upside down without a problem. Spin it around and there it is, a Huey's rotor blade. This flat-bottomed one was so simple that in the 1920s you could build it on your kitchen table. That's the Clark Y, still teaching people to fly 100 years later. And this big, chunky one grabs the air at practically walking pace, perfect for a slow little drone. 5 shapes. 5 totally different jobs. All pulling the same trick with the air. Payoff time, why does a wing lift? 2 answers. And the beautiful part is they're the same answer. Newton's version, the wing throws air down, so the air throws the wing up. Done. The pressure version, less pressure on top, more underneath, added up over the whole wing. Run the numbers both ways and you get the same answer, right down to the decimal. Not two theories fighting, two camera angles on one thing. And Bernoulli, way back in 1738, also right, faster air, lower pressure. That's the link between the speed over the top and all that blue. The only bit of the schoolbook story that doesn't survive is the two streams meeting up again at the back. They don't. The top one's long gone. And if you want the cleanest 3 pages ever written on this, look up Holger Babinski, Cambridge, 2003. How do wings work? Genuinely great. So put the plane back together. Engines, tail, seats, all of it. Around one stupidly simple idea. A wing throws air down and the air throws it right back up. That's lift. That's the whole trick. 400 tons, floating back down on a pressure difference smaller than 1%. Next time you've got the window seat over the wing, look. You always knew planes fly. Now you actually know why. Fair warning. Once you can see the air, you can't unsee it. It's in your ceiling fan. A bird outside. A paper plane across the room. We'll go chase it somewhere new next time.